Hi, T. Carlson here. I love me a good crime epic, and there's one that I actually missed from many years ago that I finally got around to seeing for the first time. The movie I'm talking about today is Se7en, starring Morgan Freeman and Brad Pitt, which has gotten a release on the 4K format. I'm going to unbox this release and share my opinions. Close-up of the title there. It's actually pretty simple and to the point, but I guess it works for this movie. There's the top of the backing card. Side of the spine, back of the backing card, back cover with some shots from the film. And this has some very unique packaging. On the front of the inner case, we got one of the photographs from the film. On the side, we got another shot there. We open this up again, more shots from the film. We have this nice big panorama inside. That looks very nice. But this brings me to my problem with this packaging, the way the disc is in here. You have to actually reach into this little tab here, pull this out, and then you get your fingerprints on the disc. I do not like packaging like this that requires me to put my fingers on the back of the disc. By 2025, this really should have been wiped out. The set also includes a digital code. Again, I've already redeemed this, so don't bother trying it. Brief disclaimer as well, this does not include a Blu-ray copy of the film, so any images you see in this review were taken from Google searches and random screen cap websites. They are not screen caps, and they do not represent the quality of this release. Gluttony, greed, sloth, wrath, pride, lust, envy. Two cops track a brilliant and elusive killer who orchestrates a string of horrific murders, each kill targeting a practitioner of one of the 7 deadly sins. Gwyneth Paltrow also stars in this acclaimed thriller set in a dour, drizzly city sick with pain and blight. David Fincher guides the action, physical, mental, and spiritual, with a sure understanding of what terrifies us, right up to a stunning denouement that will rip the scar tissue off the most hardened soul. I don't know why it took me so long to get around to seeing Se7en, but I'm glad I finally did because the movie features great performances from its lead and supporting cast. Production design is top-notch. And the movie is downright disturbing, disgusting, but does everything it needs to do to get its point across. And with David Fincher at the helm, this is done surprisingly well. Fincher, of course, prior to this had directed the film Alien 3, which was not a great experience as the movie was largely taken away from him. But Se7en is the movie that really showed that Fincher could stand on his own as a filmmaker. He'd go on to make several other critically acclaimed and esteemed films, including the likes of Zodiac, Fight Club, and The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. In terms of our leads here, we get Morgan Freeman portraying a veteran homicide detective and Brad Pitt playing a young rookie who comes to join the team. The two immediately clash, but ultimately the two end up needing to work together, and the chemistry these two have with one another is certainly very well put together. Gwyneth Paltrow portrays Pitt's character's wife, and she helps to lend a sense of gravity and levity to this otherwise dark and dour experience, giving it a human touch that it might be beyond redemption without. You even have Arlie Ermey playing a police chief of sorts, the superior to the characters played by Freeman and Pitt. And then in a very creepy and effective performance, you have Kevin Spacey appearing as the film's central villain. I'm not going to get into all the stuff about Kevin Spacey here, but I'm not going to take anything away from him as an actor either, and this is certainly one of his best performances. And it is a shame that we'll probably never see the guy on the big screen again for obvious reasons, but what he does here, he makes for the villain that you love to hate. The movie is set in this dour, almost noirish type environment. We don't even really hear the name of what city this is set in, so it's left ambiguous, and I think that also works to the film's advantage. And we have a serial killer following the signs of the Zodiac by which he commits his crimes. We have a serial killer following the 7 deadly sins as the template for which he supplies his crimes, and that certainly adds a little personal touch to the experience. Se7en is certainly not going to be a film for everybody, but it is the movie that put David Fincher on the map, and rightfully so. And the performances from Freeman and Pitt are absolutely fantastic. Supporting cast is great too. Production values are great. There's a lot to love here. It's one of the best crime epics out there. Don't wait as long to see it as I did. Se7en is now available on 4K Ultra High Def disc. I'm still kind of trying to wrap my finger around this transfer. The movie does look pretty solid overall. If I'm not mistaken, this is probably a transfer that uses AI upscaling. This was the same technology that was used on the first Terminator movie 4K that Warner put out last year. I don't totally understand this technology or how it works. It's certainly not the same thing as digital noise reduction, which is really looked down upon. I would have preferred something that's maybe a little more natural in terms of remastering, but I have to say, this is not a bad looking transfer overall. I have heard some reports that there might have been certain elements that were changed visually in the film. I have never seen the film prior to owning this disc, so I really can't comment there, but I have to say, overall, I was not disappointed with what I saw. Again, I'm still trying to understand the whole AI upscaling thing, but here it actually works pretty well. And there are several archival bonus features on here, including a whopping 4 commentary tracks, some additional and extended scenes, we have some alternate endings, and a few additional featurettes as well, so it is a pretty stacked package. Se7en is a solid crime epic with great performances, production values, and everything in between. It's a great all-around movie, certainly not for the squeamish or easily offended, but those who want a great crime epic will certainly find it here. Warner's disc looks absolutely fantastic, and probably my only real complaint here is the lack of a Blu-ray copy, which has sadly sort of become the norm for Warner these days with their 4K releases, but overall I can still pretty highly recommend this disc. How about you? Are you a fan of Se7en? Do you think it's one of your favorite crime epics? Where would you rank it in the filmography of David Fincher? Comment down below and let me know what you think. Also, remember to subscribe to this channel for more content. I'm always posting new videos. And make sure to give this one a like if you found it helpful. I'm Timothy Carlson. I'll see you next time.